Most firms survive, the best ones scale. Welcome to the Managing Partners Podcast, where law firm leaders learn to think bigger. I'm Kevin Daisy. Let's jump in. What's up, everyone? Welcome. I have a great guest today. She's been on a few times. Got Cassidy Lewis here on the show. She works for Hurley Injury Lawyers, and she's also been part of PILMA for quite a while. She runs the CMO Roundtable, and she's got some cool news. She is starting her own program, which I'm excited to hear more about here on the show. But we'll be talking about a lot of things with marketing that you can do for your firm. I'm excited to dive into it. So Cassidy, welcome to the show again.
Thank you, Kevin. And remember, we agreed I was the number one guest.
The number one guest by far, unless you're another guest that I've told that to and you're listening.
Hey, everybody. Yes, my name is Cassidy Lewis. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Hurley Injury Lawyers. Been here going on 8 years. Lead a team of 4, soon to be 5. I am hiring a senior marketing manager. Spent most of my time in marketing, most of my adult career. So politics, nonprofit, sales, all the things. And just love marketing. Like I love the human brain, love understanding or trying to understand the human brain and consumer behavior. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you're awesome at it. A lot of folks know who you are. You do a great job internally for your firm that you're at. And I live in the same market here by Cassidy, so I see Cooper Hurley stuff all over the place. They really have done a great job. And yeah, so I'm excited for her to share. She can share a ton past this episode too. Connect with her, reach out to her, connect with her on LinkedIn. She's always posting a lot of great stuff too. So yeah, excited to kind of dive into some of the things that you said you could share that you had on your mind today. But what are you kind of passionate about right now? And what's, I know you do a lot of community marketing there, a lot through database marketing. But the firms that are listening, they're struggling to figure out what's best for them. Do they hire agencies? Do they have internal? Do they have both? What are you seeing, and what's working best for you guys right now?
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. It's the agency versus the internal marketing conversation is always a funny one to me because why does it have to be versus? Why can't it be and?
Agreed.
And for us, for Hurley Injury Lawyers, that's been the thing that has worked the most. I think agencies partnering with credible agencies could take your firm further and faster than you can go on your own. The research that they're able to do across multiple law firms in different regions, them having 20, 30, 40 experts working on solving solutions for your firm. I think agencies are needed, but agencies have their place, as do internal marketers. Your internal marketer is not going to, your agency is not going to be able to write thank you cards to the attorney referrals. They're not going to be able to sit down with your intake team and talk about what you're doing, all of what you're doing on the marketing side. And this is what the gifting, the client gifting. You wouldn't call your agency if a client's mother passed away and say, hey, can you send them flowers? That, and just the big picture strategy that comes with having someone work 40 plus hours, just in case my boss is listening, 40 plus hours a week.
60.
It's 72, 40 plus hours a week on and in your firm. So I have seen more of, and maybe because of my new business, the CMO Academy, I have seen this shift where there is more of the and conversation. I want a really good agency and I want to have a really solid internal marketer or marketers. And I'm happy to see that shift.
Yeah, no, as I talk to clients all the time, sometimes they'll bring in like, hey, should I hire an internal person? Or hey, I'm looking for a fractional CMO, or I'm looking for, or they just ask questions like, should I have, or instead of an agency, should I just hire a marketer? So it's definitely a conversation that I like being part of. I always say this, the firms that we work with that have the best success and that we have the best relationship with have internal marketers.
Yeah. I was
They're
going to ask
boots on
you
the
that.
ground. They're boots on
Yeah.
the ground,
Yeah.
They live and breathe that brand. We
Right.
can't, unfortunately. We need to be given and provided information of what's
Right.
happening within the firm.
Right. I was going to ask you that. Do you feel like those clients that you work with, that are clients of yours, that have an internal marketer, Do they go deeper in their marketing? Do they have better strategy? Do they have, check the boxes?
Yes, absolutely. And I wouldn't say all, but the ones that have good internal marketers that get it, that have KPIs and they're tracking
Yeah,
things, and they also kind of know where their lane is and they know where it's not,
right.
and they know that they need to leverage a partner. And that could be for all kinds of things, whether it's a gifting partner, if it's a community partner, traditional, digital, whatever it may be. They understand that, what they need to do internally and then hire that partner to do the heavy lifting. So yeah, the firms that do the best have someone internal, that liaison to us, someone that we can, communicate with, bounce things off of. So in my experience, I'd say majority of the ones that have internal marketers, we see better results for across the board.
Yeah. See? So,
Yeah.
attorneys, if you're listening, see, it's not just Cassidy saying it. Kevin says it too. Must be right. If we both said it, Kevin, must be true.
It is now obviously if you're a smaller firm or
Yeah.
startup firm or
Yeah, I
just,
get that.
a few attorneys, you typically start with, hey, we have an admin and they're kind of helping with some marketing stuff. That's it. Again, it's not just they're experts at marketing, but they're organizing. They're they're saying, hey, here's where the firm is going. I just met with the partners and we're trying to move into this area over here, this new location. Like we need
Mhm.
to know that information.
Right.
And if we have someone internally that can be giving us that, then we can make decisions on our side and say, hey, well, we need to re-talk about the strategy because now they want to move into a new office location. Did
Mhm.
you think about what that means for the digital footprint, for the Google business profile, yada, 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 right? So just having that person, but sometimes the partners just kind of break things and do things that they don't really tell you what's happening. So
No, no, not them.
never. So again, if you're smaller starting out, having someone that can fulfill that role of the communication, I think is important. Obviously, it's great when you can have someone like Cassidy and a whole team behind her on top of that. That's amazing. But you guys are pretty sophisticated and pretty far along in your journey. So don't feel like that's where you need to be.
No. No, no, no. I tell people that all the time when they call and ask me, like, especially numbers. I used to be an accounting major. I like numbers that make sense. Like, don't give me like that sine, cosine, not that. I mean, numbers that make sense that to me, they just tell stories. And so they'll call me about reporting or research, this research project I do on my database or on my cases. It's like, I did this year 4 here or year 6, and you know what I mean? You don't have to go that far. Just pay attention to these 5 things. You don't need to produce a KPI with a KPI report with these 20 KPIs. Like, just have it's me and 3 other people working 40 hours a week. I meant 40 plus, Jim, if you're listening. 40 plus hours a week. So it's not that you need to come out the gate looking like what we are doing, but doing something is what is the most important.
Yeah, I was responding to someone's LinkedIn post the other day about marketing or something like that. But it's like, you should always be tracking, testing, but never stop, never not market. Always be marketing. So whether or not it's the perfect thing at that time or it was going to work out the way you thought it was, you're always testing, you're always tracking, you're always looking at data and numbers, but you never stop marketing, right? So yeah, I think, yeah, depending on where you're at, do you need a full-time person? Do you need a few people? Do you need a CMO, a fractional CMO? That's going to vary. And I think, again, Cassidy would be a great person to turn to reach out to probably give you an idea of where you are versus what you need. The fractional CMO thing has become pretty popular.
Very popular. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I used to when I owned my business, I used to be a fractional CMO, not for law firms, but I've seen it a good amount.
Yeah. Yeah, I've connected with quite a few. Margarita with Marketing Boss. You got Ron Latz, Delacy Friday. He's really helping firms more on the referral side of things. But just some great folks out there that have had experience internal like yourself
Mhm. Mhm.
that really have real world experience that
Mhm.
can help a firm that maybe doesn't need a full-time CMO or can afford one to be able to get some of that information. I think is great. I want to talk about some of the community stuff that you're doing and
Okay.
how that's really paid off for you. But tell me a little bit more about your new program too and who that's best suited for. Thank you for tuning into the show today. I have taken things to the next level and I've started the Managing Partners Mastermind. We're a peer group of owners looking for connection, clarity, and growth strategies. So if you're looking to grow your law firm and not do it alone, please consider joining the group. Spots are limited, so I ask for anyone to reach out to me directly through LinkedIn, and we can set up a one-on-one call to make sure it's a fit. Now back to the show.
Sure, yes. I'm excited. So at the start of the year, I opened up the CMO Academy. You can see how much more eloquent I can be at the CMOacademy.com when I type everything out. But I started the CMO Academy, and there are two sides to it. There is me mentoring your internal marketer. We sit down every month. Every month there are templates. Every month there is reporting, and it's extremely customized to where your firm is today and then where it is going tomorrow. Okay. It is you can call it a coaching program, a mentorship program. Just I say this often, you get clotheslined by legal marketing, especially injury law. Especially injury law. I cannot stress that enough. It's different. The prices are different, the competition is different, the stakes are higher. It's just a lot. And
It
until
is.
you're in it and you've been in other industries, you can't fully appreciate that. And so I became who I needed 8 years ago when I entered the industry because I came in very arrogantly, like most marketers, right, with our egos, came in thinking, "Yeah, I know this. I've been marketing X amount of years. I have this degree and that degree," and it clotheslined me. So I became who I needed 8 years ago for marketers that needed that additional structure, those pushes, all those things. That's one side of the CMO Academy. The other side of the CMO Academy is I built a video academy that's online and accessible to any and everyone. Initially, I built it for internal marketers that maybe couldn't do the month to month program, but more attorneys have watched it than marketers, I think, that want to, if maybe they have a marketing assistant and need to know how to manage them better, need to know the things to talk to them about. So if you're interested in either of them, you go to the CMOacademy.com. Right now, I have two videos up there for free. One is how to hire a marketer, right? And it talks about, if you need a marketing assistant or a CMO and everything in between.
Oh, nice.
And then there's also some referral marketing videos, but it's 63 videos. It is a real live course. That was one of the hardest things I've done. Yeah. It took a while to do. I spilled my guts. I popped open the hood of what we have done at Hurley Injury Lawyers and also what I've done and just other experiences that I got to bring here to Hurley and how it applied. And everything is broken up into three parts: strategy, tactics, and KPIs. People always ask me the how'd you do it? How'd you do that campaign? And I want people to ask the why more, which is the strategy. If you have the strategy, and Kevin, you know this, if you have the strategy, the hows will come. I promise you. And then, of course, KPIs, because how do we measure success? So, yes, that is the CMO
That's
Academy in a
awesome.
nutshell.
Well, that's awesome that people can get access to that. Yeah, lawyers listening. I mean, I talked to lots of lawyers, clients, prospects, ones that, especially like some startup firms. Like, and some firms they're well funded, but they're forming a new partnership,
Hmm.
new brand. They need everything, but they're not necessarily running on fumes either. But they need to figure the marketing out. They need to get a marketing assistant or a marketer or whatever. But I think to some degree, when you're starting out a new firm on your own, you need to have some understanding of marketing. You can't just be completely like, that's not me. I don't care. Like you need to understand it so that you know when the numbers come through, the KPIs, all that stuff, like what's important to me. I don't think if you're a lawyer business owner, you need to have some general understanding. And it sounds like it'd be a great place for lawyers to go get some great information. Again, not to execute the marketing necessarily, but to just have a better understanding of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
So you have the full video library up there, and then you have the coaching program for internal marketers. Yeah, if you have marketers and you want to get them some assistance to learn and train and have a budget for them, sounds like a no brainer to get them hooked up there. So I love it. I love it. And strategy. You mentioned strategy. I mean, that's one of the things that we say here is one of our differentiators is strategy before anything.
Right.
And when I talk to like new law firms that maybe are looking for help, we don't talk about marketing strategies or tactics. It's I need to know every single thing about your firm.
Mm,
I need to know your numbers, your case
right.
values, how many leads you're getting, what's the sources, what are you doing, how many agencies you work with, how are those relationships, how involved were you?
Mhm.
Like, was the lawyer just like hands off, or are they nagging and overwhelming, or where were they at?
Mhm.
And it's like, what's all these questions about? It's like we need to understand where you're at, where you've been, and where you're going before we tell you we're going to write copy for blogs or whatever the hell. So Yeah, strategy is so important, and everyone wants to skip
The
to the
how?
leads.
Yeah, they want to get to the pretty campaign. They wanna see their name and lights, and I get it. You built your company, and that's what you want, that's what you deserve. But first, why? Why your name and lights? Why are we doing that pretty Facebook campaign? Why? Tell me why, and we'll do all the hows you want.
Yeah. And I'm a very impatient person myself. Like you want to get to whatever, and it's just takes time and filming or editing or whatever, right? And you just want to kind of get to the result side of things, but it's just the energy you got to put into it. So, Cassie, I appreciate you sharing some of the information, especially about your new program. It sounds like there's a wealth of knowledge there. All the firms, most of the firms that are listening, are hopefully active in marketing, or they have an internal marketer and agencies. So there's dynamics there. I know also a lot have either an assistant or a junior person or someone that's just kind of taking that role. If I'm a lawyer, I'm a firm that has some internal staff that's assisting with marketing. So what's some kind of tips or things to look out for, or things that they should consider that would be helpful to them?
Yeah. If you are a managing partner and you have a junior level marketer at your firm, I am going to beg you to make sure that they stay educated in the legal marketing world. I talk about this sometimes. I go to conferences a lot, speak at a fair amount of conferences, and there won't a lot of marketing conferences, and there won't be any marketers in the room. And I get it. You as a managing partner are not going anywhere. You are going to work there, but invest in your marketers. They will only get better, and they will be grateful that you have invested in them, right? So the CMO Academy, obviously a great option, but send them to the conferences. What podcasts are they listening to? They have to learn both your industry, the legal industry, the injury law industry, if that's what you're in, and then they have to continue to grow as a marketer. So that'd be my number one tip, hands down, to the managing partners that may be listening and have a junior level marketer in house.
That's awesome. I love that tip. Yeah, I go to a lot of the conferences. All the lawyers are there. You don't usually see much of the marketing staff, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, invest in your folks. I know for just like you would expect your attorneys to be learning and growing and moving from
Yeah.
associates into so yeah, your marketers are super important. I mean, they're the tip of the spear, right? It's huge. I love it. Well, I mean, Cassidy, we have so many things that we can talk about. I'll probably have you back on the show. I really want to dig into referral marketing and some of the community stuff you guys do over there. But Cassidy's got so much packed in her brain there. I can't fit it all on one episode. So
Okay.
she will be back.
I will.
So CMOacademy.com,
Mhm. Yes.
LinkedIn, Cassidy Lewis. Is there another way people should reach out to you?
I'll say this, if you have any Virginia injury referrals, send them to Cooper Hurley Injury Lawyers, 333-3333.
All right. Actually, send them to me, and then I'll refer them to her, so I look
That's
good.
fine. However they get to me. I'm a marketer, Kevin. I was gonna take advantage of that.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, she has a great referral system, and I'm excited to talk more about referrals with her next time on the show. Please connect with her. Please reach out. She's got so much information, and get out of the conferences. Get out there and talk to people. Bring your marketers, or just send them if you can go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
look forward to seeing you at some of them. So, Cassie, thank you so much. You hang out with me for just a moment. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in as always, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, Kevin.
See ya.